We're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Hello? No, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 97th Dinking Around.
Oh, yeah, episode number 97.
Webby, if I'm not mistaken, the year I met you was 1997. Is that accurate?
I think that is accurate, and it's crazy to think about that. That was a long time ago.
That was almost 30 years ago.
That's disgusting. How is that possible?
No, I'm only 30 years old, so we met when we were born. I don't know. It's crazy, isn't it?
What's crazy to me is like I feel like I'm still in my 20s. I mean, like my body feels like it's older than that, but I just mentally I feel like I'm still in my 20s.
That's crazy. Last night, stayed out on a school night, and I didn't get home till after 9 p.m., and that was like a wild night for me.
Oh, man. I can't believe you're actually awake right now.
I know. It is crazy. Do you want to know what else is crazy, Webby?
What's that?
When I see people that aren't playing with paddles made from our friends over at Varsity Pickleball, isn't that crazy?
So crazy.
Well, there's a way to end that crazy, guys, and that's to go to Varsity.com, use coupon code PB4Life10 to get what, Webby?
Well, you will get 10% off your order, which is a nice discount, but it's also going to show us some support in the process, which we are very thankful for.
Very grateful for it. Grateful for our friends over at Varsity. Let me tell you guys, they have a paddle for every skill level in this game. You can't go wrong. You're going to enjoy it. Webby and I have been playing with their paddles since even before we partnered with them. We love it. Again, Varsity.com, coupon code PB for life, 10% off your order. That is all I'm going to say about that.
Well, that was a lot of great stuff you had to say there, but I have a question for you, and that is...
What in the world is in that drink? What you got in that drink?
Well, Webby, you all know I love our friends over at Fort Myers Brewing Company. And although their beer that they brew that is my favorite is their High Five IPA, this, the American Wheat, is also one of my favorites. As you can see, it is incredibly light in color. It's not cloudy like you'll get with some other American Wheats. It's a great sipper, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to be sipping on tonight. What are you going to be drinking?
Well, I went kind of the opposite route. You were drinking a nice light-colored beer. I am going to be drinking a very dark-colored beer. And the reason I chose this beer is I was just in the city of Holland, Michigan over the weekend doing a pickleball tournament with my daughter. And anytime I'm over on that side of the state, I love to visit New Holland Brewing. While I was there, I got this lovely beer. It is called The Poet from New Holland Brewing. It is an American oatmeal stout. Like I said, yours was a nice light-colored beer. This is a very, very dark-colored beer. But I am a big fan of this beer, and that's what I will be sipping on tonight.
Very nice. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. And if anybody else is drinking anything, please let us know in the comments below.
Well, there's a time to drink light beers and a time to drink dark beers and also a time for...
Memes of the week.
That's right. Memes of the week. One of my favorite segments that we do on this podcast. So, Eddie, let's start with you. What kind of memes you got?
Webby, I don't know if you've heard of this Instagram account, but it's called Memes of Pickleball.
Never heard of it. Never.
Me neither. Okay, so there's a lot that happened at MLP Columbus, like a ton. And I'm not even going to get into why this happened, because it's something we might be talking about a little bit later. But anyway, this one is Ben Johns might just retire from pickleball before the end of the day.
Defeated in mixed doubles. Incredible as well.
Not easy feat. I think so as well.
It's that ball that's so tough. Pretty good from John there.
Bird alert.
Good take.
Oh, man.
I feel like we've seen this almost identical meme from a few months ago. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah, he just kind of just standing there, like not putting any effort into it. Couldn't wait for that match to end, probably.
So, it's so funny. Another job well done from our friends over at Memes of Pickleball. Thank you for putting out incredible content all the time. That's my meme this week. Webby, what do you got?
Well, this one comes from our friends over at Friday Pickleball, and this is called Playing Pickleball with a Stranger versus Playing Pickleball with Your Spouse.
Hey, what's your name, man?
What's up? I'm Isaac.
Nice to meet you, man. You ready to have some fun? Listen, if we don't win this game, we're getting a divorce.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Hey, that's my bad. I should not be going for the backhand punches.
No,
That's
you
my bad.
should, though. You
That's
should.
my bad.
I swear, if you take... Where are you going? If you take my forehand one more time...
Oh, golly darn.
Hey, dude, it's okay. You got the next one. What the was that? I have never seen such actual in my life.
Ooh, dang, hey, great game, y'all. That was so much fun. I had a blast. Thanks for playing with me, man.
See you, man. Glad I don't have to play with that guy again.
Hey, good game, y'all. Good game. Good game. Good playing. Good playing.
This is gonna be an awkward ride home.
Guess I'll get an Uber.
Oh, man. It's so true, though. Like, you play with somebody for the first time ever, and everybody is, like, super nice to each other. But if you play with your significant other, or sometimes even just, like, a really close friend of yours that you've been playing pickleball with for a while, it's a totally different story.
Very, very different. I remember one time at a tournament in Grand Rapids, these two guys were on the same team and started a fight with each other. I mean, like, I understand. I've seen fights happen against opponents, and that's not good, but at least it's slightly understandable. These guys were on the same team. Come on, that's crazy.
Oh, man. But great stuff. Friday Pickleball. Always love your content.
Webby, it sounds like you might actually have a shout out. Is that true?
I do. I want to give a shout out to another brand new pickleball facility in my area called Varsity Pickleball, and it is in Ypsilanti, Michigan. They recently had a really fun event. They had the U of M Pickleball Club there. They were raising money to take a trip to nationals to compete in nationals, and it was cool because we got a chance to play with and against some of the U of M pickleball players, and it was just a very cool event, a very nice facility. They have 8 brand new dedicated indoor courts. And then something else really cool that's going on there is our good friend and Pickleball Hall of Famer Wes Gabrielsen. He is actually going to be there very soon doing some clinics, and that is happening on May 20th. So anybody listening to this, if you're in the area and you want to check out some clinics from Wes Gabrielsen, you should definitely try to take advantage of that opportunity. He is one of the all-time greats. He has been in the sport for a very, very long time. Great guy, amazing player. So I might even try to get in on that.
You should, man. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He's got a ton of knowledge. He was a teacher for a very long time before he kind of took this whole pickleball thing full time. So, yeah, if you get a chance to go to a Wes Gabrielsen clinic, you go.
For sure. And he's been a guest on our podcast a few different times. And also, when we used to do the Pros Asking Pros questions segment, I could always count on Wes to give us some great questions, very thought-provoking questions. So, great guy, great ambassador for the sport, a legend in the sport, a Hall of Famer in the sport. So yeah, definitely take advantage. Go to Varsity Pickleball, sign up for the clinic on May 20th. You will not be disappointed.
Do it now.
And if you're listening to this after May 20th, then what took you so long? Why don't you listen to us when we make sure you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and then you'll get notified when these videos come out, and then you won't miss it next time.
Yeah, jerks.
But wait a second. My watch is telling me that it's time.
Now it's time for Topics of the Week.
That's right. It's Topics of the Week. You know the drill by now. Every week, Webby and I pick a pickleball topic, and we talk about it. It's actually not any more complicated than that. So,
No.
Webby, I can't wait to hear what topic do you have for us this week.
Oh, man. So I thought we got the juiciness out of the way with Major League Pickleball after last week's episode, but nope. Major League Pickleball Columbus happened, and something else very controversial happened. And in case anybody tuning in isn't aware, there was an incident where Ben Johns and Collin Johns both informed officials that they would be withdrawing from Major League Pickleball Columbus because they had concerns over lighting at the facility. This drew a lot of criticism from pro pickleball fans, and I kind of want to see what you think about this, Eddie.
So there's a lot of different things to unpack here from my perspective. Does Ben make a good point about the fact that we should have some standards around lighting at these events? Yes, 100%. I think that there needs to be a standard, and if it's not met, then people don't play. Pretty simple. A lot of other professional sports have that. But, Ben, it's not going to help your case if you act like you don't give a crap out on the court with MLP. We all know you don't, so just fake it, and it's going to help your case.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do not like the way that Ben and Collin handle themselves. I just cannot stand when somebody obviously is not putting effort into it when they're out there playing, especially in these pro events. And then the fact that people came here to this event to see the highest level pro pickleball they could see, a super fun event. I'm sure there are tons of Ben Johns fans, tons of Collin Johns fans that were there in the crowd that wanted to see them play. And the fact that they withdrew and didn't play the rest of the games, I'm sure that was a huge letdown to a lot of the people that were there. And I do agree, like, the lighting needs to be addressed. I mean, that has to be a priority, that has to be fixed. But there was nothing they could do at that point in time. The event had started. I say, give it your all, get through the event, and just don't walk away like that. To me, that was embarrassing to the sport. I feel like they had to feel a bit embarrassed themselves, I mean, for basically quitting like that. But I do want to get to a post that Collin Johns posted not long after people started voicing their concerns online. And he said, to the armchair experts commenting without facts about the playing conditions in Columbus, we accept your thanks for taking the lead and insisting on professional standards, standards that protect all players and preserve fair play. Ironic how just as Ben and I would have been taking the court, Hayden loses the ball on center court and takes a deflection to the eye, requiring a medical timeout. Inadequate lighting, perhaps? But hey, what do we know? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that post from Collin?
I mean, it's a little bit disingenuous, which I think, again, takes away from the situation. They really do have an opportunity to use this to try and help to change the sport for the better by insisting on having standards for lighting, for court surfaces, for all of the factors that will impact your play. But comments like that don't help the situation, and by not giving a crap doesn't help the situation. So your intentions to change a sport are there, but your actions are not aligned with getting the result that you want. They're aligned with you doing things for you in a very selfish, self-centered way. Doesn't help your case, guys.
Yeah, and it's a bummer because I have always been a big fan of both Ben and Collin, and nobody can deny they have had a massive impact on professional pickleball. They have helped pro pickleball get to where it's at. They've raised the bar. I mean, for the longest time, they were unbeatable at men's doubles together. Finally, teams have started to catch up, and now they are no longer playing together regularly, and they've been great in the sport. I'm fans of both of theirs in regards to professional pickleball players, but man, this was very disappointing to me. Now, that caused some other pros to post some stuff on social media, and here is something from Deckel Bar. He said, let's focus on solutions. Players deserve to feel safe when they step on the court. The league and tour should establish minimum lighting standards like every other professional sport. Courts should always have adequate spacing to prevent players from tripping, falling, or colliding with spectators. There should be clear guidelines for maximum wind conditions. Court colors should maximize playability. Drug testing would ensure a fair playing field for all. Pickleball has made tremendous strides in recent years, and there's still a long road ahead. Let's prioritize players' needs to fuel pickleball's growth and protect the people dedicating their lives to pickleball. Let's work together to improve the game, not criticize those advocating for safety and fairness, especially those who have done so much for the sport. So, what are your thoughts on that post from Deckel?
Love Deckel. I think he's one of the greatest guys in pickleball. I've had nothing but positive interactions with him. He has a long friendship with Ben and Collin. He's also business partners with Ben. And I don't disagree with him, again, that we need to have standards. But it's okay to be able to, on the same hand, like what's happening here is this thing that we're seeing in our culture today, where it's like people don't think that two things can be true. I agree that Ben and Collin are right that we need to have better lighting. I agree that Deckel is right that that should be taken seriously. But I can also think that they did it in a really crappy way. And it's actually hurting their cause that for the actions that people are quote unquote criticizing. Deckel, they're not criticizing Ben and Collin because they want standards. They're criticizing Ben and Collin for not participating in the event and not giving it their all and just walking away on their teams. That's what they're criticizing. It's two different points.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. And somebody else that I feel like agrees with what you said is Travis Rettenmeyer, and he had quite the response to Deckel. And this is the last thing that I'm going to share as far as posts from other pros, but this is an interesting one. So Travis Rettenmeyer says, "You are killing me, Deckelbar. Usually you are sensible, but you've played futures, challengers, as have Nadal and Djokovic in far worse conditions. Can you imagine them not trying and then blaming their poor behavior / antics on exterior variables? How about the fans that paid? Do they deserve a refund? Safety standards are absolutely necessary, but set a standard with your character by showing resilience and then state your case. As of now, it looks like the kids that whine and get their way got to be a parent to understand that one, I guess. I respect your intent here, especially as your friendship with them is evident, but don't let loyalty blind you from the obvious. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Remain objective. I think the real issue here is, yes, players provide value, but the game is the story. Recreational participation is why we all have a platform, not because of stars or overwhelming viewership. We owe Pickle, not the other way around, particularly for those making damn near 8 figures. Be a leader and guide the sport into the promised land like Federer, Kobe, Jordan, etc. I hope we only have progress from here, but actions have consequences, or at least they should." So, yeah, those are great points from Travis Rettenmeyer there. And that brings me to another thing I want to bring up. He says, actions have consequences, or at least they should. As far as I know, there have been no consequences so far. Are you aware of any consequences?
No, and I don't think there are going to be. Here's the thing. What are they going to do? Suspend them from playing MLP? Ben and Collin are going to be like, cool, I don't want to do this anyway.
Right.
So now you have to suspend them from playing PPA. Well, if they do that, then they're going to lose money. So no, I don't think there are going to be any punishments that happen that aren't going to be to the detriment of the UPA. And honestly, as much as I want them to do something, I understand why they wouldn't. They've unfortunately put themselves in the situations to where they can't afford to lose a Ben Johns at an event because people are going to pay good money to be able to come and see him. So to suspend it from them is basically like, it's like instead of robbing Peter to pay Paul, it's just robbing Paul to rob Paul. Like they're not, it's just going to hurt them. So I don't see a path to how they can actually make this happen. And that's why Ben is in the power seat here, because he doesn't want to play MLP. So
right.
It's kind of like there's really no consequences to him. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like you said, UPA has put themselves in a position to where they almost can't do any consequences because they're going to hurt financially by not having Ben be part of a PPA event because, I mean, he's a draw. People are going to want to see the best in the world play. And I feel like that stuff like that, it's almost like they put all their eggs in one basket. They built up this massive star on the men's side and they need him. And yeah, it's almost like their hands are tied. They can't really do much about it.
The only thing they can do is fine him, but they're going to have to make it hurt real bad. But they're going to have to be careful here because what's to stop Ben from saying the injury I sustained as a kid in my sledding accident, which causes my vision to not be as good as everyone else's, is a disability. That's where this also gets a little bit tricky here. Do I think that UPA needs to accommodate every single person's disability to be able to play a professional sport? Absolutely not. But we do have a culture right now of where making sure that everyone feels like they have the ability to play in different sports. There's a sentiment that I think will lead them to having to play that very carefully as well. What do you think? Do you think that's even crossing their mind right now?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like it has to be, but man, their organization has done such a poor job at making good decisions in the past to where it's hard to say, do they even care about stuff like this, or do they only care about money and like they'll figure everything else out as it goes to just make the most money and not even care about growing the sport or doing the right thing.
Who knows, man? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, but that's our take on this whole scenario. What do you guys think? Do you think Ben and Collin were right for what they did? Are they like heroes in the pickleball world for the way that they did things? And do you think that this will cause things to get better as far as the playing conditions and all that? Or do you agree with us that this was not the way to go, not the way that they should have handled this? I mean, they definitely have valid points, but I don't know. I don't think this was the right way to do it.
I'm with you, Webby, but we want to hear from you guys too. Put it down in the comments below, because I got to tell you, we would have some great discussions in the comments, and I love it. My eyes have been open to a couple things, and I'm seeing things a little bit differently based on your guys' comments. So definitely let us know if you agree, if you disagree. Let's talk, man. And this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love hearing different takes because, like you said, some of them are very eye-opening to where it's like, you know what? I didn't think about it from that approach yet. They might actually have a point here and stuff like that. So I love it, and I wish more people could be accepting of other people's opinions about things, even when they're different, because I feel like that is a big problem with society today, that you either agree with me or you're the enemy, and I hate that standpoint.
Yep. That's how it goes.
But that's my topic for today. What do you got for us, Eddie?
Webby, I feel like my topics lately have been a little heavy. Would you agree?
A little bit. I feel like you've gotten a little heated here and there, but I love it, though. I love when that happens.
Well, we've built our channel on being very fair, balanced, positive people. And that's genuinely how we are. And I know that a lot of the things that I've been saying has come across as maybe a little bitter towards UPA for some things that have gone down, or being negative on pro pickleball. And I can see why. I promise you it's coming from a good place, but I understand that it's not good to stay in that realm for too long. So I wanted to switch up my topic a little bit this week, and let's just have some fun, some lighthearted discussion. I spent a good amount of time scouring the internet for what I consider to be some of the funniest either comments or reviews or statements made on the internet regarding pickleball, and I want us to go through them. Are you ready for this?
Nice. I'm excited. I had no idea this was what Eddie was going to do, but I am very excited about this.
Well, let's bring it up here. We're going to start going one by one and just react to what the craziness is of the internet here. This first one is a comment from Mucka Mad Boy Mike. Let's go with that, from Reddit. He said, old guy complaining about pickleball is the equivalent of old guy not shutting up about pickleball. It wouldn't annoy me, but I could see how... Is there anybody in your family that gets annoyed when you talk about pickleball?
I feel like I have seen some eyes roll. I've heard some huffing when I talk about pickleball, but it's not too bad. And I feel like now that it's actually become trendy and it's more accepted in society these days, I feel like people are a lot more willing to listen to me talk about it than they used to be. But I know when we first got into pickleball and nobody knew what it was, a lot of people got annoyed about how much I talked about it.
Anytime I talk about it around my sister, she starts to pretend like she's falling asleep. So, yeah, that's what happens. Okay, next one is from Deleted on Reddit. And he says, F these pickle dicks. Tell us how you really feel. I mean, get creative, right? Like, come on. Like,
right.
This is crazy.
And I see that they deleted their account. I bet you they play pickleball now. They were probably somebody that hated on pickleball. They had never tried it, but they always hated it. Because I feel like that the people that hate on pickleball the most are people that have never played it, and that really annoys me.
I agree. Next one comes from X, and this is from Hobarian. And they say, I spent more time than usual yesterday thinking about how much I hate pickleball. More than anything, its existence is an insult to tennis. It should be extinguished as a threat to the basic dignity of man. What happened to you, Hobarian, that made you so bitter against pickleball? Seriously, how does this situation come up?
Right. And what I don't get is, like, why do people always have to compare it to tennis? It's a totally different sport. Like, sure, there are some similarities, but, like, it's got to be a tennis player that's saying it, obviously. But, like, why are tennis players so caught up on ragging on pickleball? Like, do they just hate people having fun?
I don't know. It's like, do tennis players hate padel? Do they hate platform tennis? Do they hate table tennis? I don't know. Like, do pickleballers hate cornhole? I mean, I don't know. Like, there's where do you draw the line between it's such an insult to my sport? Like, how? They're not related. It's stupid. There's no correlation there. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I feel like I don't ever hear tennis people rag on racquetball and badminton and all these other racket sports that are similar. Like, they're different sports, but very, very similar in the way that you play the game and stuff like that. And padel even, like, why is pickleball the sport that they just hate with a passion?
Well, when you're on top, Webby, people want to bring you down.
Yeah. Actually, I think I just thought of the reason. I think people are just mad that the old abandoned tennis courts that nobody was using are now turning into pickleball courts. For whatever reason, people would rather look at an abandoned tennis court that never gets used than pickleball courts that provide hours and hours of joy for anybody who grabs a paddle.
It's so true.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. All right, let's keep going here. We have one from the Guts and Butts on X. Pickleball sounds like a sport invented by a drunk retiree who lost a bet. Well, there's some controversy around how it got its name, but that is not the case, by the way.
Right. What's wild is I don't think we will ever know the true story of how pickleball got its name, because the people that were part of it are gone. They're like, relatives are still around and they have like their strong opinions on the origin of the name pickleball, but I really feel like we're never going to know the 100% truth.
Doesn't it kind of make you question history as a whole when these situations come up?
It really does, especially like in the past. Like, the only way to keep track of things is people like writing things on a piece of paper, and just like that game Telephone or whatever. I mean, I feel like you could interpret things wrong, or I'm sure they didn't remember things perfectly when they wrote things down. So yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in history that you never know if it's legit or not.
You never know. This next one comes from Omega Revenge 42 on Reddit. And they say, I effing hate pickleball. The sound the balls make on the paddle is horrible. F that activity and F disc golf while you're at it. What?
Oh, no, come on.
Leave disc golf. Listen, all right. You're going to hate both of those sports? Why? What do they do to you? Disc golfers, how are they bothering you? They're out in a park with their 6-packs of Oberon, just throwing the bee around, man. How is that bothering you? Come on, leave disc golf alone. Like, listen, you want to hate on pickleball? I don't like that, but maybe you don't like the sound of the ball and you got something weird in your brain, fine. But disc golf, Webby, what logic is there?
Yeah, that is where I draw the line. I mean, I have a bone to pick with Omega Revenge 42, because I can understand people not liking the sound of pickleball, especially if you're not a pickleball player. But when it comes to disc golf, you do not mess with disc golf. It's such a lovely sport. That was my passion before I got into pickleball. I still love playing disc golf. I don't do it nearly as much. I wish I played it more, but it is such a great sport. And the people that play are like some of the most chill people you'll ever meet. And it's, yeah, leave disc golf alone.
Leave Brittany alone. Okay, this next one comes from Time Explorer 5463 on Reddit. I had to play pickleball with a gentleman who may or may not have killed his family in 1984, and that's all I could think about. Yeah, that's probably all I would think about too, if they may or may not have killed his family 40 years ago. Like, yeah, I can see why that would be distracting.
Right? I could just see like Time Explorer 5463 like showing up to open play. He's about to play with some random guy that's there. They bump paddles, and the other guy's like, "You ready to play?" He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he's like, "By the way, I killed my family in 1984. All right, 002." Like, how did he find out that he possibly killed his family in 1984?
Right. He's like, "Hey, good to meet you. I may or may not have killed my family in 1984. Oh, I don't care. Let's play some pickleball." But you know what? That's the funniest part is if that happened to me, I'd probably be like, "Yeah, let's just play. Like, I'm cool with that. I'll deal with this after the match. I really want to play this match."
Right. Yeah, especially if you've been waiting for a while for your paddle rotation to happen. I mean, yeah, you're just going to play that game. Just play the game.
Yeah.
Deal with it afterwards.
Yeah. Possible family murderers. If you've been waiting a long time, deal with it after.
Yep.
By the way, we're kidding. For anybody out there that's sensitive, we're just joking.
Right.
Next one is from ISO Speed Cream on Reddit. Oh, the pickleball crowd is nuts. I get into fights with them all the time at my public courts. Well, guess what? Maybe you are the problem, ISO Speed Cream. Why are you getting in fights with them?
Right.
First of all, are you there playing? Because if so, you're part of the pickleball crowd. So you're one of them. So you're complaining about the group you're in. But if you're at a public court and you're not part of the pickleball crowd, then why are you starting fights with them? Like, how are these scenarios coming up?
Right. I never see fights at pickleball courts with actual pickleball players. I mean, maybe one or two in the 8 years that I've played, but nothing crazy and stuff. And I do feel like the biggest arguments I've seen have been people that don't play pickleball that moseyed over to the pickleball courts and just started saying some really stupid BS.
It happens, man. Okay, next one is from Rick Riley on Reddit. I'm 65 now, which means that, according to federal law, I have to start playing pickleball, but I don't want to play pickleball. I hate pickleball. Rick, lean in, buddy. You're going to love it.
Yep, and you're going to be mad that you waited so long and that you're so old now and that your decrepit old body can't move around like it used to.
Which, by the way, that's specific to Rick, not all 65-year-olds.
Right,
so,
right. I'm just talking to Rick. Most people that are 65, their bodies are totally fine. They probably feel like they're 40 still.
Love it. Okay, this next one is ironically from Tennis Hater 99 on Reddit. Pickleball is like tennis for people who gave up on actual athleticism.
See, this is something else. I hear a lot of people say this kind of thing, and I feel like anybody who says that has never played pickleball because it takes a lot of athleticism, especially if you ever try to play singles. But anybody who says that it requires no athleticism to play pickleball, you couldn't be more wrong.
I agree with you, but I will say this. You need to have a moderate to high level of athleticism to even get a rally going on a tennis court, where I could show up with like some grandmas and probably play pickleball and have fun for hours.
Oh, yeah.
And not have to put that much athletic effort into it. So if Tennis Hater 99 was just seeing that kind of level of play, yes, I could see why they would think that. But if you're listening, Tennis Hater 99, which I don't know why you would be listening to a pickleball podcast, but if you are, it doesn't have to be played that way. You can play it as athletic as you want it to.
Yep, very true. And who are you trying to fool, Tennis Hater 99? Like, you're bashing pickleball, but I feel like he gave himself the name Tennis Hater 99 just so he could blend in and then start ripping on people in the pickleball crowd. Like, I seriously think he specifically created that user account just so he can troll pickleballers.
That's right. Chaos Court on Reddit said, played at a local tournament where the refs were drunk. Absolute chaos. Are they being facetious, or do they really mean that the referees were drunk? Because, Webby, I want to sign up for that tournament.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking too. I would love to play at a tournament with drunk refs and just mess with them the whole time.
So funny. Next one is from League Tyrant on Reddit, and they say, the local pickleball league is run by a dictator who bans anyone who disagrees with him. Webby, I got to tell you, I'm actually not surprised by this comment. I have run into people like this at courts that are in Naples that are literally the place where the U.S. Open was just played. This stuff does happen. They literally made up their own rules for their league. And if you disagreed with them, you're out.
Oh, man. That does not sound like a good time. I would not like that.
Nope. Okay, next one is from Sports Purist on X. And they say, pickleball is like if badminton and tennis had a really dumb baby.
Oh, man. Not going to lie, that was funny.
That was a good one.
I don't agree, but it made me laugh, though.
And this last one, we're going to finish it up with. This is from No Potty on Reddit. And they say, the local pickleball tournament had no bathrooms. People were peeing in the bushes. Okay. no bathroom at a pickleball. Like how is this possible here? Was this a PPA event by chance? Was this maybe PPA Nationals 2023 in Dallas when they ran out of toilet paper? Maybe, or where were you when this was happening? There, no potty. Has this ever happened to you?
No, I have never experienced that. There's always been at least like a outhouse or something like that, some porta-johns, things like that. But I've never seen an instance where the only option was to go to the bathroom in the bushes.
When you gotta go apparently. Well, Webby, that's it. That's my topic this week. Again, I wanted to do something fun, lighthearted, scour the internet, found the best comments that are out there. Let us know what you think. Do you like when we mix it up and throw some fun stuff in here? Or do you want us to get juicy in the gossip and talk about all the problems with pro pickleball? Because there are so many of them that we could talk about. Let us know down in the comments below.
I thought that was fun, though. That was a good way to mix it up. And I like how this episode had mixed in a little bit of controversy with some good, wholesome, lighthearted fun, even though it wasn't all wholesome because some of those people were a-holes.
Yeah. Well, Webby, I guess they're all entitled to their own opinions. But you know what? Let's mix it up again. And let's talk about our friends over at Jigsaw Health. Webby, how do you like to stay hydrated?
Well, one thing I actually did today is I like to mix a packet of Fruit Punch Electrolyte Supreme from Jigsaw Health into my bottle of water. I drink some shortly after I first start playing pickleball, and then usually after 2 or 3 hours of playing almost nonstop, I am sweating like a sieve, and I need to restore more electrolytes. So then I do the same thing and drink another bottle when I'm leaving the facility or on my way home, and that has helped me tremendously. I used to have dehydration issues. I have not had an issue ever since I started taking that approach.
I've heard that from so many people regarding Jigsaw Health products. Guys, they have things other than electrolytes too. Tons of products that help you feel good, because at Jigsaw Health, it's fun to feel good. And guess what else is going to make you feel good? That's saving a little bit of money. So if you go to jigsawhealth.com and you use coupon code PB4Life10, you're going to get what, Webby?
You are going to get yourself 10% off your order, and you'll also show us some support in the process.
And we love you to bits for it. Thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning into this episode. This was episode 97. I can't believe it. We are getting so close to numero 100.
Yes, 100.
But we cannot end this episode until we find out Eddie's
Closing thoughts.
So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that once again, Ben Johns just doesn't care about MLP. We also learned that there's a big difference between playing pickleball with a stranger versus playing with your spouse. We talked about a situation at MLP Columbus where Ben and Collin Johns just decided not to play. Do you agree? Do you agree with maybe some of the pros' perspectives? And we also scoured the internet for some of the best comments and posts regarding pickleball, and some of them are pretty epic. But that's going to do it for us on episode number 97. Again, we're loving the dialogue we're having in our comments section. Please keep that going. We truly appreciate your guys' perspectives, and we'd love to have conversations around it. So definitely throw that down into the comments below. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
Yeah.
Well, we're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh yeah.